our lives as digital consumers are like a Stockholm syndrome.
I don't give a fuck about being cancelled, but fucking pile on. It's more numbers. I don't give a shit.
They're trying to turn everyone transgender.
It's like, you're the most powerful man in the world.
Even like J.K. Rowling would be a bit like, I wouldn't go that far.
The jokes we make, the filth that we talk. The only thing that ever gets me is having to look the other parents in the eye at my kid's school. That's what gets me.
What is the problem with all the shit that we're seeing on the internet?
I mean, to be honest with you, the level of it has hit a point now where it's difficult to answer that question succinctly. And I'm grateful we've got time, because the grade of shit out there now has got so vast that you don't know where to start. There's the element of it makes idiots into superstars, which in our very small circle we're grateful for.
Guilty as charged.
But it's what it teaches people in terms of like everything should be content, right? If you're walking to the fucking shop in the morning, you got to film it. You got to talk to yourself about your fucking daily routine. Everyone's daily routine has become some LinkedIn bait now of how you wake up before everyone else. You take salts and fucking whatever else to make yourself hard and working.
High class productivity drinks.
Yeah, which I will say, delicious. But also half of these, especially that sort of like business side of it, is the entrepreneurs who get up at 5 and do 3 cold baths and a workout every morning. It's like, you lot seem to spend more time telling people how much work you do than actually doing any fucking work. And I think that's humanity is content now, and content is humanity. Do you know what I mean? And people place it above everything. The importance people place on creating content, creating shite. And I think it's lost some of what it had maybe even just 5 years ago, which is what you used to see on the internet was, you know, like on the X Factor, there'd be 3 good singers and then a freak. And the internet was for the freaks. Do you know what I mean? It's like pre-TikTok, when it was just like Instagram and shit like that. The most viral people were mentally ill. And now too much of the internet is people who are annoyingly sane and actually competent humans pretending to be mentally ill to go viral. You know what I mean? Like, they're keep it to the nutters. Nutters are good at the internet.
Yes.
You know?
We need nutters for our continued business model.
100%. Yeah. I now, when I see proper lunatics on the internet, people who should be in padded rooms, people who should have carers taking bed, do you know what I mean? Who shouldn't really be in front. I fucking love that. It's been taken away from them. And there are too many competent people spending too much time making content, rather than letting it be the lunatics that go viral. When I scroll, I want to see head cases.
Yeah.
So that's where you've got your podcast, you've got the Scream Rock Pod.
Yeah.
Where, in essence, you're trying to unveil, talk about, bring some conversation to these exceptional pieces of talent, let's say.
There's not really a term for it, is there? Yeah.
But it's refreshing, and you guys definitely on the way up. You've come up in so many conversations. Sometimes when Chris Williamson talks about it, I'm thinking,
who's that? Sorry,
great work.
Is he podcaster or
you don't know his morning routine? And
young up and comer.
Like sometimes I'm not sure if there's a tremor in his voice if he's scared of you boys, or if he admires you, and it could be out to, I don't know.
We've discussed Chris a few times, so I think that's kind of how Chris found us. Is we might have mentioned him on one of our pods, but there are people we discussed who we have no fucking respect for, right? We've just spent an hour talking about Cycling Mikey. I'm not sure if you're aware of this piece of work.
And it sounds bad. I fucking hate him too.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound bad to me.
We all do.
But the tough thing is, someone's going to come in, and it's all about like a virtue hierarchy, and someone goes, "But my cousin died because they were hit by someone on, using their phone whilst driving," and you're like, "Oh, don't use that to squish our conversation."
Yeah.
Like, let us express. I'm sorry to hear about your cousin, but let's get back to Cycling Mikey.
Let's have a laugh.
A lot of the time, when he gets people in traffic, stationary in their car with the engine on, give it a break, mate.
Yeah.
If he goes into the back of someone because he's not paying attention on his phone, it's uncouth.
Yeah, right.
On the motorway, we have a problem.
Yeah. 100%.
Doing 90.
Don't get me wrong. If he's filming lorry drivers drinking beers and
having a Carlsberg on the M4,
yeah, fair. But also, and you mentioned the word virtue there. You can do it without putting it on the internet. You can, if it really is your thing, which it is for him, going out on his bike every day with the sole purpose of catching people, grassing them and stopping them, you know what? Fair. If you believe that's the right thing to do, personally, I think it's as distracting to a driver to have some bald cunt poking his head in his window going, "Excuse me, mate, I'm going to report you to the magistrate," right? That, for me, would distract me more from driving than a quick game of Candy Crush as I'm stopped.
And I think the South African nation as a whole, you know, they're not the most popular.
No.
As soon as you hear one of them accents, you know they're going to be airy.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, 2 pints away from offering you out into the street.
Yeah.
They should probably say, hey, mate, back down.
Wind it in.
Yeah, we're not the
Got
most
enough on.
popular
Yeah.
as it is.
Well, we think
that
that
accent, and you're at a braai or you're at some kind of war crimes tribunal. So it's like you don't want Mikey getting involved in that. So it's like
we think they deported him for being a pussy. Like if you compare him to most South Africans,
Small,
it's not their vibe.
not hench.
It's not their vibe.
not
Do you
into
know-
rugby.
You look South African. You look fucking South African.
No, and I'll take that.
If you could nail the accent, they'd accept you in a heartbeat. He is not South African. Culturally, he's not South African.
If I saw you at a braai, I'd be like, that's where the best verst is here.
Yeah.
I can get some high quality sausage.
But he knows his way around a sausage. And I mean that in the most respectful way.
Hey, bro, in South Africa,
There we go.
That's good.
Right.
You got
right.
it.
Whereas the Cycling Mikey thing, it's like you don't need to become a professional YouTuber off the back of it. But he has. The best examples is he's caught Chris Eubank Sr. on the phone. Whilst doing it, Eubank Sr. goes, "Look, I'm just holding the phone whilst talking to the fuck off, leave me alone. I'm on Bluetooth, I'm doing anything wrong." Still films him, still chases him, whilst boasting about, "I've called a lot of famous people, you know." And it's like, you're doing this for clicks. You're doing this for money. And the thing now, YouTube is monetized, right? Doing what we're doing right now is monetized. There'll be people watching going, "I can't believe that," but it's true.
We're
right?
just three dudes kicking back.
Yeah. With a cold new Sonic and a hot coffee.
Yeah.
clip that.
But like that's the problem with all the shit on the internet is that like everything is content now. We've covered lawyers that are getting people off of murder. That's content. That shouldn't be content. I don't want to see that. I don't want to know that is happening.
Yeah.
We've got like, there are people, doing their daily routines. There's people, vigilante cyclists doing their stuff. There's like, we found out the other day on a live stream we do, there are people that are AIing themselves into Harry Potter films.
And then going viral off the back of making it look like they're going to shag Snake.
Yeah.
Like, this
And I want to know how I can do that with this podcast. All three of us.
AI.
Quirrell, get them all involved. We'll do the whole lot. But like, that's the problem. Like, everything is content. And I never thought, I mean, I've been so wrong about everything on the internet. It's untrue. I was a stand-up comedian. I was like, I'm not doing clips. I'm not doing crowd work. People don't want that. I want just come and see the live show. It's all about the live experience. Bollocks, absolute bollocks, completely fucked it for like 4 years. And so like everything is content now. There's no distinguishing between the live thing and content. It's just all one big flat circle.
You've lived a life in content, right? Really, from you started in the fitness game.
Yes, I was a personal trainer. So everyone's got tough jobs. I'm not going to make anyone cry over being a PT, but there's a moment where you've got a gym floor full of people that just want to be left the fuck alone. And that's where I'm getting my next client.
Yeah.
Right. So these people have got an hour at lunch. They're left to themselves. Their boss is a cunt. They're fucking everything in their life is shit.
Yeah.
Their dog's fucking shitting on the
They
kitchen
want to see your
table.
wife. Kids are one.
They got their 1 hour apiece. They've got their headphones on. And some South African looking motherfucker is going to come over and he's going to put his little, like almost deaf voice on. Take your headphones out.
Oh, it's the worst, isn't it?
I've got it because I can't talk to him with the noise cancelling technology we've got going on.
Yeah.
I would then have to get them to take, and the look you get when they're taking the headphones off. Yeah. How's your workout going? Good, until you interrupted me. So for me, this was a conversation I had to do 30, 40 times a day.
Yeah.
And then, can I just give you a couple of tips? Fuck off, cheers. You have a good day. And because they're a member of the gym, I have to kind of be like, yeah, you have a good day.
Yeah.
Soul destroying. And then you go into the PT room where you got a bunch of narcissistic cunts that just look good with their tops off. None of them are good people. They just look good naked. So everyone said,
Same
like,
thing.
what's this narcissistic cunt with a six pack going to do? Be a personal trainer. So you got hell outside, you got hell inside. And then one day I remember being told to collect email addresses on a notepad, like off people as they're coming into the gym. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I tried putting out a video and they were all shit. It was like 3.5 years before I got my first client. Then one day I had too many coffees and just ranted about a Snickers protein bar. I was like, fucking, not even that much protein in it, fucking more carbs, fucking more fat. And then at the end of it, I posted it. I was like, oh God, I sound like a twat. I got more like engagement than ever before. So I'm actually a part of the problem you guys talking about.
No, but I'm the same. My first, and it was just before we started the podcast, I'd done stand-up clips, this, that, the other. I was literally walking to an Arsenal game. I'm an Arsenal fan, right? Walking to an Arsenal game and I'd film myself talking about Arsenal playing Man United and why I didn't like Man United. boom, we like viral, good. And you know what it's like, as soon as you have one thing that hits, it's like when you're having sex with a girl and you can't really make her climax, then suddenly you do something that works. You're like, fuck it, don't move, keep doing it. Right? So yeah,
right.
yeah, finger up the arse, whatever. Right. So whatever that thing is that's worked with the algorithm, you're like, keep doing it. I'm sure you did a similar thing of like, right, let's slag off some more protein bars. Let's talk. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, right, let's talk about football. Let's do that. Hit it viral, and before you know it, it's like the internet will take you. It will decide where you go. And I still do loads of football content now, but like I was like slipping into the path of becoming like a football YouTuber. And then we got lucky that we started the
football being like, he needs to be referred to Prevent or something. This guy was on the path to being a football YouTuber, but we got him out.
He was this close to being Rory Jennings. If there's a vulnerable man near you who started ranting about football, they could become Thogden. Be very careful. But like, and then I think what happens, and you might have found this, is that if you are in that space of putting out content, be it in my case to sell tickets to comedy shows, in your case to build work as a PT, you have to have the kind of strength to go, I'm going to apply my own agency to this and not be a slave to the algorithm and decide where I go next with it. Do you know what I mean?
But it makes sense. Like, this is the thing with comedy where I was so wrong. It makes sense that like the content is the calling card for the thing, but like, that shouldn't be like that for getting people banged up for driving offences or like law. Do you know what I mean?
There's that guy who lost his job as well. He was like begging him. He was like,
he
said he'd kill himself.
Yeah, he was like, honestly, I'll lose everything. And I think Mike's like, I'll think about it. And they did it. He reported him in.
Yeah.
So he had the choice of, do I get my AdSense up a little bit?
Right.
Or do I come down the other way?
And that's where he's so nefarious, and where I think content creators like him are like so funny, is that like they claim there's some kind of noble cause behind this. And the noble cause is you getting paid like £500 a month by YouTube on your shit channel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like optimized for engagement, optimized for conflict. And it's like, that's I wish they just had the balls to be like, yeah, I'm one of the worst people on earth, actually.
Yeah.
And just own it. And then you go, do you know what? Subscribe.
Yeah. I'm watching it. Yeah. If Cycling Mikey rebranded his channel, and it's not like, I'm going to raise awareness for people using their phones. If he was like, no, I'm going to try and make cab drivers kill themselves, I'm more likely to subscribe.
That's a good title as well.
Yeah. If he's the black cab driver slayer and he's going around playing with the mental health of cab drivers.
Imagine the log
in an Uber t-shirt trying to kill
That's amazing.
But it like that is the perfect example where the guy said to him, I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose my income. I will end my own life if you do this to me. And he went, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he's to stick to his guns and go, my whole thing is to stop people using their phones. Do you think that guy who's just threatened suicide on camera is going to use his phone again anytime soon?
Also, do you reckon he's going to be a good driver for the rest of the afternoon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's walking around borderline panic attack, phoning his wife saying, please, don't spend any money today. Don't get a Waitrose, get a Howdy because I'm fucked.
You don't know who Cycling Mikey is, do you? No, I don't. Don't worry.
Hope you guys are enjoying the episode. Just over a year ago, I started using a TRT service, and it's made my life so much better. Before, I was suffering with low mood, low libido, and low energy. And because of my own personal journey, I've decided to invest into Manual, one of the UK's leading TRT and weight loss services. If you wish to find out more about what they do and how they could potentially help you, then head to manual.co/Smith. And there'll also be a link below right in the description. Right, let's get back to the episode. You said about having a stand-up and having to like get tickets to your shows. I was very fortunate in the sense that I started content from like an educational standpoint. I tried putting like a twist of humor on it. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that when we went to live events, it was a TED talk with fingering jokes. And Kay Kurd came to one of mine, and at halftime he comes in and he's looking like disappointed. I'm like, what's up? He's like, no one expects you to be funny. And you crack a joke, they laugh. Yeah. He goes, with me, I have to be funny. Yeah. He goes, I ain't got a choice. He goes, if I'm not getting a laugh every minute,
seconds,
he goes, because they bought the ticket coming to an event, not knowing you're going to be funny, it's even better.
Yeah, right.
I think he was livid. Yeah. There's like any kind of way I could, if I could find a topic, even something like the menstrual cycle, right, which is a pretty dry topic for a lot of people, I would then explain to the lads in the room how they should navigate the stag do, when not to get your missus pregnant, and go through all the kind of things.
So you was watching that video, actually.
So it's like it's one of those ways that I think, okay, I've got a really dull topic here that I want to explain, but how can I make it a bit more interesting? How can I make people laugh? Whereas being a stand-up, you guys, you need to be so creative. You need to always have a finger on the pulse of things that are happening on the internet. Like, and you guys doing the live show now as well.
We've done a few, and again, we probably overthink it because we feel that pressure. Do you know what I mean? It's like, people buy a ticket to our live shows and they expect like a live podcast, which is two guys sat there with a microphone having a chat.
Which also gets the similar thing of, like you say, where it's not the primary purpose of your thing to be funny. And it's like, we get that grace, or I think live podcasts get that grace because it's improv effectively. The people, like, I think it's easier to just sit there, a couple of people, and like talk. But I think we feel so like indebted to the audience that all the live shows we've done have been these insane like plays effectively.
Yeah, it's like pantomime. Like we have like plants in the room, characters, people who rush the stage. We get guests. We do also. We will like create this story of the show that like I think he's going to leave the podcast, or like I got a hair transplant and the Turks are going to come and take the hairs out because I've not been promoting them enough. Like we do all this shit because we don't. I also like, you know how you said it's like a TED talk with fingering jokes. Like for me, and this might be why you've put humour in yours. I just like. I don't think a live podcast is worth 20 quid.
So this is where it comes, right? So we did the event in Apollo to 3,500 people. I'm backstage. I looked at my manager and I said, I would not pay £35 to come see me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm wigging out, mate.
So you overcompensate. So you got gags. So you add things in. And it's the same with that. I would never spend like 20, 30 quid, whatever, to just watch two blokes sit on a chair. Like I'll be honest with you, I think our audience are cucks. I don't know why they're. Who the fuck goes to a live podcast? You know what I mean? There's a part of me going, I would never do this, and so I have to make it something more than what it should.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll figure this out. So there's like a currency that we can't see online, and it's accruing goodwill. And even in the business realm sense, a lot of people ask for a lot without giving a lot first.
Right.
So what you guys may or may not have realized is all of those podcasts that you've done over the years, all the time, like someone's in their transit van and you made them laugh on a shitty day. And without even knowing it, it's not money going into a bank account, but you've accrued a bit of goodwill. Okay. Then you get to another point where they're just like, they're having a good day, whatever, or they can't fall asleep at night. They put the pod on with a 15-minute timer, they fall asleep. So you're getting all these little nuggets of goodwill. When the ticket comes on sale, it's not about the event. Yeah. It's about them showing you, like, you've done so much for me, I'm buying a ticket. So by the time you get there, you're not actually in debt to them. They've already got everything they want from that 20, 30 pound.
Right.
Everything on that night is a complete bonus. Yeah.
So you're saying it's not what Jacob thinks, which is that they're cucks, right?
They might be as well.
I mean, that sounds pretty convincing, but
just the live show thing as well. For me, I've never been much of a live show fan, but then I look back at the times I've seen like Gervais, or I remember seeing like Darren Brown back in the day. When you're actually in that room, and I think in the digital age where no one can absorb your content without holding a device or having headphones in, it's actually quite nice the first time you're able to absorb content offline. So you're there, your phone's away. Have you heard people bump into you in the street that, oh, you guys are real?
Yeah.
We have a mad thing as well. Is like we're often together because we're recording, or
we do so much shit with this, like live streams.
I think lots of people think that we're just kind of live together, or we're just like,
we're
like about the deck one. Not that we're the same as that in the deck, but we're just wandering around central London a lot of the time, and people are like, oh, you're together. And it's like, yeah, we've got recorded. Like it's an odd experience, but like I think that we've really found at our live shows, because we play the clips of the people that we're talking about at the live shows, and again, like we plan these insane pantomimes and plays. People's favorite bits are watching the clips that they've already watched on their phone in a room full of people
together. You like we take the piss out of them, like someone like Eating with Todd. I'm sure you know that guy, right? We've done fucking 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it.
Todd. No. But here's the thing, though. He knows. He comments. Yeah. I've messaged him. He's a sweet enough guy, and he knows what he's doing is ridiculous. He knows when he's rolling around fucking London going, I've just had this scrummiest pizza. Yeah. He knows it's funny. It's
endangered animal. Yeah.
Like when he takes a bite of a burger, like he knows that's funny. And I think we've taken the piss in a way that's like good-natured enough, but we've also gone fucking hard, right? I said that after he goes to a restaurant, he sits at home wanking while his missus calls her mum and says she hates her life. And yet, that our audience have absorbed us doing that, and they'll come to a live show. We played a clip from him sending us a message, right? Because like one of the live shows we did, we pretended it was an award ceremony and that we'd given him an award, right? When we played the clip from him being like, hey, Screenwriter, thanks for the award. You guys take the piss out of me more than anyone else, but thanks for the award. We couldn't continue the show because the whole room was stood up screaming, Todd. Like, so as much as these, when you're in your bedroom, you go, oh, that fucking guy who eats lobsters, what dick, right? You love him. And this is the thing. As much as I Cycling Mike is a different case. I don't love it. But like, I think a lot of these guys who people love to hate, who people have a bit of a like, oh, that cringe cunt, oh, whatever. You love him. You like.
Well, I don't know. I think it's like a Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
I think like our lives as digital consumers are like, it's like you've had a black bag put over your head by eating with Todd and What Willie Cooks, and you've been driven to a warehouse in Dalston, and now they're making you film videos. It's like, and it's like gradually you start to love your cactus.
They've injected you with whatever that addictive, that serotonin, and you're hooked on them, and you keep watching.
Todd's looking at you in a slightly sexual way that implies.
But now you love it, and I think people have more affection for a lot of these creators than they would care to admit.
I've got a couple guilty ones. One would be Ed Matthews.
Yes.
I think he's funny. Like at first.
Which one's he again?
HS Tiki Toki's mate.
He's a psycho, isn't
But he's got the Astragini or whatever. He's got that beaten up Astra. Right? And he calls it like the Astragini, and he's like had it painted up.
Those lads terrify me.
But then I found myself definitely caught up in it where HS's clips, he's got like good clippers online. And also I respect the game sometimes. Like back in the day with Tate, like he would say something, there'd be like 4,000 people clipping it. I'd be like, this is not by accident. He's got
right.
Yeah.
And HS saying he's got people working for him for no money.
How did they get there? Traffic, I
think HS has got like I saw a video of him saying one of his clippers made so much money, but I think that in itself is a lie, so that more people clip thinking they can make the money. A bit like when Tate said he was the most Googled man on the planet. He wasn't, but people then Googled if he was the most Googled man on the planet. So there are kind of like lies you can put out. So me as a marketer, it's like Minority Report. I'm like trying to pull apart
100%
the bullshit.
100%.
But HS Tiki Toki got in like a fight in Marbella with these 3 Scottish lads.
Yeah, I think we did
But
that.
then I'm like saying to my mate, I'm like, oh, did you see HS Tiki Toki? I'm like, who the fuck am I?
What am I talking about?
I'm gossiping. They're like, who the fuck's that? And I'm like, oh, how do you not know that?
Now you're explaining it. Now you're part of the sale. I'm a
clipper.
He couldn't have designed it better. And maybe he did. I mean, like, the thing that we often say about these people, even like an Ed Matthews, and people have I don't fucking know much about Ed Matthews. I know he fights. I mean, this is the thing. It gets very primal. All of them follow a really primal path of like, Bevo's the best example. Bevo gets famous, can't swallow a roast potato.
Sucked off by Bonnie Blue.
Well, but this is the thing.
Sorry.
But no. I've watched it.
I'm not talking about what you want to do right now.
The age verification was coming in. I had to do it before.
I just say sucked off by Bonnie Blue in the middle of sentencing as well sometimes. I'm just thinking about it. But he famous for that. And then it's like, what's he going to do? In the modern internet age, it is literally fucking and fighting. Yeah?
Feeding, fighting, fucking,
yeah.
Pipeline.
Feeding, fucking, fighting. It starts with food content. Before you know it, it's a Misfits fight. When the money dries up from that, OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Every single... Hey, Tiki Toki's done here. I've watched him eat dinner. I've watched him do a Misfits fight. I guarantee there's OnlyFans. I guarantee it. Ed Matthews the same. He fights, he eats, and I've seen him just pottering around mob. I mean, this is nuts. Because the thing is, a lot of these guys now, when they make their content...
Do you think the coffee and the new tonics was necessary? Or?
I haven't opened the new tonics yet. It's going to get worse. Bumming Lily Phillips. Anyway. Ed Matthews spent a lot of this summer, the clips I've seen, he's pottering around Marbella. He's got a team of people with him. He himself is also like professionally hench. Do you know what I mean? Like, you must have experienced this with PTs where people will follow your stuff and go, oh, I just can't get as hench as James. It's like, well, it's James's job to be hench. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you haven't got this, no one's signing up. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there was a bit of an ethical dilemma with this when I started TRT a year ago. So I was open about it. So I've done the biggest villain arc, right? You ready? So I was the natty PT that called out fake natties. I now am a fake natty. And then I used to run a business and now I have a course that helps people with their business. I'm well aware I'm going on this trajectory.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I'm saying to people, even in my own sales copy, I'm like, yeah, guys, you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain.
HS Tiki Toki on the side.
The only thing I haven't done is getting brawls in Marbella.
That's the last thing left.
Or OnlyFans. And that's why we're here.
There's 2 ways you could see that your professional career is in decline. 1, you start your podcast again.
Yeah.
Or 2, you're on OnlyFans. So we're going to start here first. And then we're going to see where we can get.
That's funny, please.
Yeah, even with these, like, I can't help but see. But then sometimes you kind of feel like you're getting FOMO. If not, you're kind of like, I don't want to be out the loop. It's like this weird incessant.
Oh, for sure.
To be plugged in.
And a lot of the I was going to say younger people, because there's this like one content creator called Jack Rowith that we're kind of obsessed with, we always talk about. And he's just like a young lad from Nottingham. There's another guy called Danny Boy who does it as well. And he's like a 40-year-old from Essex. And they just like, they are on all day. That's the other scary thing about it.
The streaming.
They're streaming all day, or they're just constant live, constant reels, constant uploads. And that's the other scary thing. I've found myself in the way I've been like, I need to, because it's like a sitcom, but it's in one day. And you're like, what's going to happen in the next episode? Don't worry, you've only got to wait for like 10 minutes to find out. Like that's the other kind of scary.
And I think that's what a lot of these guys, like you mentioned, like Ed Matthews, Tiki Toki, like those guys, they must almost like sit there. And what we often say about these people, like them or not, whether you like Ed Matthews or not, whether you like HS Tiki Toki or not.
Don't like HS Tiki Toki, but
yeah. Well, a lot of people don't, right? And I listen, I'm not inviting him for a beer around my house anytime soon. But what you have to admit is, if 20 years ago, if these were sitcom characters, they're well-written characters. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I remember, to talk about another villain, I remember Russell Brand saying this once, that like the reason he did the skinny jeans, the hair and everything is because a good comedy character should be recognizable by silhouette. You should be able to imagine someone as a Simpson in The Simpsons, right? And all of the people you mentioned, you could picture them in The Simpsons, couldn't you? There are visual things about them that are like instantly recognizable. A lot of them have catchphrases. Like, it is like a TV writer from the noughties or 90s, like in TV's heyday,
You know, the
have
horse
written these people.
with a tattoo that's spread
exactly.
terribly on the arm.
Yeah.
Beavo's the best example. Like, he looks mad. Like, that's a crazy looking guy. The hair, the teeth, everything. It wouldn't work if he looked normal. Do you know what I mean? It's the whole, there's like a visual recognition to all of them. HS Tiki Toki.
I definitely agree with you. I do feel like we've got to start attributing that quote to someone else other than Russell Brand. If we could,
he's the best example of it. He's the best example of it. He had Amy Winehouse's hair, skin tight jeans. I mean, ironically, he looked like the fucking
personality.
Yeah, he looked like a child catcher. But these people, like, it's not an accident. And as well as like visually looking like characters, there must be an element of them, almost like scriptwriters, where they go, "What will I do this summer? Right, on Monday, I'm going to go here. Tuesday, I've got to go there." And you're almost like scripting your own life to make it viewable. Because otherwise, who's tuning in?
And I've got to the point where I like say on our show all the time, like, it's just like it's like professional wrestling. To the point where the people that listen to our show message in and say, "Stop saying that, you didn't know come."
There's is it called like fake abe or something?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, kayfabe. Yeah,
Kayfabe,
just like
that's
this, like this constant, and you never break character, you never break the fourth wall. And that's the other thing. People are now, the mainstream or legacy media is trying to get in behind it and trying to understand it. I shouldn't use getting behind it, what I'm about to say, but Bonnie Blue is like another thing where they try to do the documentary and be like, here's the real person behind the Bonnie. She doesn't break character.
Perfect.
A bit like if you got Hulk Hogan, you went to his house, you were like, show us the real person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
Yeah. But why would he? Why would he show you the real person?
Yeah,
That's not what's for sale.
And that's what I said the same about, we go there, Trump. Like, he's a character.
100%.
Yeah.
And he also was in professional wrestling, and he also was in television. And he actually is, everyone's like, oh, he's ridiculous. I'm like, because that character works.
That's the point. That's the point.
You don't want to see actually just a sensible grandfather behind that raised children. You don't want to see him like giving out Christmas presents to his grandkids or anything.
No.
You want to see the guy who goes, you don't look gay. Like,
And this is the thing, like, I don't think people, like, and you can disagree with his immigration policies or whatever. I'll say it, he's fucking funny.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. And I think that anyone that doesn't, like, and he is a bit scary or whatever. The other day he went,
They're trying to turn everyone transgender.
the president of the United States, that's an amazing thing to say.
They as well. Also, it's like, you're the most powerful man in the world. Like, if anyone was trying to do that, you could just stop them immediately.
I think even like J.K. Rowling would be a bit like, I wouldn't go that far. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like a truly incredible thing to say. And like you said, it's a perfectly formed character.
I hate it when, so I get in a lot of, do you know what? I love it in trigonometry where they steel man and straw man arguments. So now that's become my thing at family dinner table. Anything in politics. So I'm like, but can you understand? And so even the other day, my mum and dad, they actually, every time I come home to the UK, they have a different opinion on Trump. It depends what was in the Daily Mail the week before.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he was having a pop at Meghan and Harry, he's popular. Right. You know, if he's shaking hands with Putin, he's gone again.
Yeah.
But I was trying to say to mum and dad, I was like, do you think he's funny? And they can't. They're blinded by their political opinion to even have the nuance to say the person I fucking hate is funny.
Yeah.
Because you could even say the same thing about Bevo. You could say I fucking hate the guy, but he's hilarious.
funny.
It's funny. Yeah. And I think that's a thing with like comedy and all sorts of things now where people confuse is like, you can laugh at something without endorsing it. Do you know what I mean? People could even watch this conversation we're having right now, Right. How could those guys even say that about Trump? How could they, to even platform a conversation about Trump without saying he's this, that, the other? It's like, we might think he's this, that, the other. You can also think a lot of what he says is fucking hilarious. Do you know what I mean? And I think now people take that stuff so seriously because there are so many people within comedy who've used comedy as a TED Talk, as a way of projecting their own political views, as a way of projecting their ethics and their morals, that now they think that whatever you say, if you're joking even, is an endorsement of what you think. And I think it's only in the last couple of years, and you see it in this sort of UK podcast comedy circles, which I guess we're part of, the kind of indie podcast circles where there's Have a Word in Liverpool, there's Finn Taylor in London, there's the Irish guys, Vittorio and Mike.
You're doing a bit there about forgetting their names.
Two of my best mates. But we all say fucking insane stuff. Yeah. And we're obviously joking.
He says we and he means me. That's why he...
But all of us, all of us in that, like Finn says fucking crazy stuff. Adam and Dan say crazy. And it's 10 years ago, you used to be able to say insane stuff and people knew you were joking. 5 years ago, you can't do it.
Do you reckon that's the goodwill? I think there's a goodwill thing built up as well. Where it's like, if you know someone for the extent of a 20-minute stand-up set, you're not sure, okay, are they all right? How do I feel about this person? If you've listened to us, God forbid, for 50 to 100 hours, you do have a better sense of who we are. And then if we say something that oversteps or isn't quite right, that feels like another good thing maybe about the relationship you can build via the internet.
Someone just sees you use the word retard and they're like, oh, but he hates disabled people.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. I mean, the two guys I mentioned, Mike and Vittorio, I'm neither they will attend Free Palestine rallies regularly. They run fundraisers for charities in Gaza. They could not be more wholehearted in their comedy about where they stand politically and stuff like that. They did use the word retard in one of their episodes. A left-wing podcast did a whole episode about them called The Return of the Slur. Right? It's
George Lucas did, I would imagine, try for that actually.
Yeah. But have you ever had that? Have you, you must have you've been doing content for 10 years?
I call it the cuntssive. So every once in a while, you've just got to, even if I don't really mean to offend a group, I just put something a bit polarizing out so you can kind of chop the weeds a little bit. Yeah. So people early on can determine this guy's a bigot or he's a sexist or misogynist or whatever. Because those really sensitive people, I'd rather get them out early. So again, why I started using the C word in content was because it would be so repulsive that the people you wouldn't go for a beer with would let themselves out early. Yeah. The big problem I feel is where someone's been loyal to you for 3 months, they're in the honeymoon period, and then you say the word retard and they're like, oh my God. Right. They had these high expectations that you were perfect. Yeah. And then they're heartbroken by that. And then that's where they go on a tirade to be like, oh, this is the worst person in the world or whatever. So sometimes I like to be polarizing on purpose just to make sure that they never get intertwined in the first place. But yet some people, everyone's just trying to make themselves feel better. This is the hardest thing about it. So when those people went the return of the slur, they did that for some virtual lift, let's say, wherever they are in their world, whatever they're doing. They go, if we go and attack these boys for using that word, we can be morally superior and that's going to make me feel better. When people comment on your stuff saying, oh, you guys are fucking idiots, you don't know what you're on about, they're just trying to make themselves feel better. Every single part of kind of negativity on the internet isn't so much what people think, it's just them trying to feel better. And the one thing that I always remind myself of is not everyone has best mates that have a podcast. Not everyone has an audience of people that fist bump them and go, love your shit. Because that feels amazing. When you're in a coffee shop and someone says that, you're like, oh, it's all worth it. Some people out there are just living real bad lives. And their only way of feeling better is through that kind of negative space on the internet. And they're just waiting for you to say something offensive so they can just get that little bit of status. Yeah. That one person likes their comment, they're like, oh, I'm validated.
Yeah. And gravitating towards, again, all of this stuff, the H's, TikToks, whatever, a lot of that stuff is just rage bait stuff, right? And trying to drive that emotion. And then that can leak into other stuff, I suppose.
It's the moral certainty though that really throws me and surprises me that people have.
And you're blocking it.
Sorry, yeah. I don't know if I would use the word retard. Just because I know I know people who...
Does that count though?
Huh? Oh, fuck, they got me. Because I know I've got enough skeletons in my closet. If you went digging through, I don't know, my old Facebook, my tweets, whatever.
If you went digging through the most recent episode of our podcast.
Yeah, I've said enough shit. And it's what amazes me about anyone who can kind of call someone else out on using a word or endorsing something they shouldn't, whatever, is like, how are you so certain that your shit doesn't stink? Who are these people that live these like spotless lives, who have these perfect morals? I don't know what I think about anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't think of myself as having a perfect moral compass. I don't think of myself as, big international issues of I'm definitely on the right side of this and I know everything. I've read everything about it. I know who to endorse, who's wrong, who's right, blah, blah, blah. They're the real victims. They're not. Who the fuck has done that research? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think now you see a real class divide in people who have those like certain morals of, yes, I'm right, I'm this, because they've been to good private schools, they've gone to good universities, they've had people telling them they're clever since they were 5 years old. Whereas I think the flip of that is you get people more from our kind of background who are incredibly uncertain, who I'm not calling anyone out because fuck knows what I've said in the past. And so it's not a reflection on my morals if I don't call something out. It's a reflection on the fact that I don't have the certainty that others would have to go, like, I don't know if I'm right or not. Do you know what I mean? Like,
the tough thing is someone, I've got a few of them online where I'll say something like a quote and attribute to someone, like Russell Brand, for instance. They'll go there and find the most egregious thing he ever said, or even the fact he was convicted for rape, and goes, oh, this person here supports rapists. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, you've kind of got some things from different corners of the internet and kind of put them together, or like, James hates disabled people.
That's a lucky guess.
Yeah, because he called himself a retard.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this the other day, just being super petty. Out of some of those accounts, like you say, they think they're squeaky clean. I was thinking, I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to get a private investigator. I'm going to pay him whatever he wants. I'm going to find a troll account and I'm just going to go see them at work with a lawyer. I'm going to serve them defamation papers. And then I'm going to spend maybe like 3 months income just auditing them and just airing it and recording it and just Mayban Retta glasses, go see them at their work. Go have a skim latte, please. And just seeing how they react on camera and being like, okay, so here's the defamation papers.
All right, we're definitely never doing an episode on you and Chris. We're never going anywhere near it.
Yeah, it's been the Newtonics episode we recorded yesterday.
And then just being like, okay, we're now going to do a background check on absolutely everything you've ever done. We're going to look at all those things and then let's correlate that with everything that you've said about me. I was like, that would just make a great piece of content. But like you say, it's because maybe in their jobs or whatever they do, there are no people going through their Twitter, or they've never tweeted, or they've never done this. But like you say, we all do and say like silly shit. But again, who hasn't? And that's the annoying thing where people are held to these perfect standards. One thing that annoyed me was, let's take someone like Ant Middleton, for instance. Every couple of years, he gets in shit for doing something, whether it's good, bad, not here to be the judge of it, but we kind of sent him overseas to kill people.
The internet encourages people to do that about like you say, everything you ever said and everything you've ever endorsed. Oh, do you endorse that person as well? Like, no, like that's not what you're doing, but it encourages that rage and constant. That's what gets the comments. That's what gets the SEO on it going, I think.
Do you follow that guy on YouTube? Is it Memeless?
He loves us.
Oh, does he?
Because I was going to say, you guys are like, almost the same. He's right. What I love is he covers his face with a bandana.
Yeah.
Because he wants to have his expression, but he doesn't necessarily want to be famous for it.
Right.
Obviously, because he is laughing at people who are fucking hilarious.
Right.
He doesn't want people to, I don't know, like knock him out in the street or whatever. And I quite like the fact he's got like 5 million YouTube subs.
He's huge. Yeah. I say like he's a really nice guy. He's messaged us a few times. Okay. Like a really cool guy.
You should definitely get for your live show.
Yeah.
And you keep him
masked up.
Yeah, masked up.
We could do anyone. We could have you do it.
Yeah, you can pretend to be Memeless if you want. See, big. Wait, you do not look like a YouTuber.
But he isn't even that provocative. What's the guy from the West Country who's in his car? You are beautiful.
Emotions in life. He blocked us a while ago.
He received some messages about his conduct as well.
And then Memeless is just there saying, this guy is ridiculous. And he's having a laugh. He's having fun. He's not like, fuck this guy. He's a bad person. He's just like, this is everything probably a man shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
that's it. And I think now people get to know people over time as well. I think the biggest thing was like Shane Gillis was the biggest example of that. Like his first interaction with people was like, he said, I can't remember what term he used. He used some kind of like racial epithet, got sacked from SNL. And at the time, I didn't know who he was. And I remember thinking like, I'm sure he's a wanker or whatever. But it just turned out he's fucking amazing at comedy. By all accounts, for everyone we ever know who's ever met him, he's like one of the nicest people in comedy. He pays all his support acts like ridiculous money.
Yeah.
And people have just learned over time. And I think that's almost like the biggest thing is like, this guy isn't Like,
if you want to get big in comedy, say a slur, get cancelled, and then be good when you come
But
back.
it's like you can't like, this is the thing, you see people in real life now. He's on his own podcast every week. People get to know him a bit better, and like you can like him or not like him, but you can't deny he's just like relatively normal guy.
Shane Gillis gets like 20 beers deep on not Fight Companion, what's the other one? Protects Our Parks.
Yeah.
And you can tell a lot
He can
about someone
handle
when he
his ale.
drinks 20 beers. And that's almost should be like the temperature.
Well,
test
it's
for
also
everyone.
like if you've got the bollocks to get that pissed and know
Yeah,
that
microphones.
I do it all the time. So we do like a live stream show once a month, and I get hammered. But it's also like I'd like to think that anyone who's watched that go, well, he can't be that bad because he doesn't say anything horrendous when he's pissed. Do you know what I mean? He's like, my guard is completely down, and I don't know, mate. Like the people I'm most nervous around are the people who would act as though they've never said anything bad. Do you know what I mean? The people who act as though they never. We were all teenagers in the noughties. We said homophobic slurs, right? And it's like
Just in the noughties.
but like if the people who pretend they've never done that, I worry they've got worse skeletons in their closet. Do you know? They're the people who were saying the N-word in the noughties. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I think if you're willing to admit that you've said mad shit in the past whilst you were young, dumb, and didn't know any better.
But that's what I mean. I think you get less currency. You still get those people that comment on your videos saying you said that I'm annoyed. I think you get less currency for that now. I think that was the really bad thing about the internet at one point, is like you got a lot of currency for doing that. I think you get less of it now. And I think people are trying to provoke rage in ever more increasingly deranged ways in order to like have that dialogue between someone who says you can't say that and someone who wants to. Do you know what I mean?
For those of you who don't know, Chris Williamson and I started a nootropics business just over a year ago. So whether you want an energy drink that has brain boosting ingredients in it that help you concentrate and sustain focus, we have the drink. And if you're someone that's into your nootropic supplements in pill form, we also have the pills. And for any of you that don't know who Chris Williamson is, that's completely fine. Some random podcaster. Please head to Nutonic.com, try out our products. I'm confident you'll love them. And if any of you aren't absolutely in love with our products, just drop me an email on james@nutonic.com and I'll make it right. Let's go back to the episode. One thing I've kind of got a gripe with is even now on social media, traditional media, everything, everyone's kind of acting like they're perfect. But then offline, you go to any bar on a Thursday in London, or you go to any nightclub, or you go to any urinal at Henley Regatta, 12 out of 13 people are snorting coke.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like when we were growing up as well, I remember it was like a relatively common trope that the Sun or the Mirror had caught so-and-so using cocaine, someone from Coronation Street or like a Division 1.
Models. It'd be like Kate Moss or whatever.
Yeah, Kate Moss is using cocaine. You're shitting. And also it's like every single person that wrote for The Sun in the 90s was on cocaine all of the time.
Fact.
And they were, that's a fact. And they were, when they weren't phone hacking people, they were using cocaine to write stories about how bad it was that people used cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kate Moss has done coke at 2 a.m. You've got a story about it at 6. How the fuck do you think they were staying awake to write that story?
But the other slightly scary thing about that is like the HS Tiki-Tokis of the world, or the people at the extreme end of the wedge, there is no sanction that the audience can put in place to make them stop anymore. Like there is nothing that he can do that can stop him earning money, because people are going to tune into his TikTok where
They
that
left
happens.
his mic off when he was allegedly doing a bump of coke in the toilet on his live stream. And then everyone in the comments was like, they've done that on purpose.
Yeah.
And then I'm there thinking, is that very smart? Or-
Yeah. Your marketing brain kicks in. The script writer in your mind goes, that's a great hook. That's a great hook. And like, what's going to go viral? Like he's put out hours already of him streaming. Like this is the first time anyone's heard. Like of course that's going to go viral.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's genius. And ultimately now, like that is it. It's not about, is this the right thing to do? Is this going to affect brand deals? Fuck that. No one wants brand deals anymore. The monetization of like your own products and selling your own stuff is so much more profitable than endorsing someone else's thing. Like, I don't know, fucking Fanta come to you. Like, they're not going to offer you whatever the potential of this could be. Do you know what I mean? And your ability to promote this is based on you being as honest and open with your audience as possible. If you go to Fanta, we can't have this conversation. Like, so from your perspective, and our
if
perspective,
this never comes out, we'll know that you've got big fan.
James has gone tango. But
Yeah.
It's like another thing as well is I had a guest on this week who was saying that before, money, the amount you earned was more like a bell curve where everyone kind of average salary, some high, some low. But now actually in the digital age, it's not. It's 90% flatline, top 10% everything.
Right.
So many creators out there, they could be half the way there, 3/4 of the way there. They could be 90% there and still broke. And what they need to do is get into that top 10%. Then at the top 10%, woof, you've got all the opportunities. So like so many of these desperate creators that we probably see and you guys mentioned online, they've done 90% of the journey. It's too late to stop now. I can't cash in yet because all I need to do is just get 2% growth and I'll triple my income.
Right.
At 5% growth, I've 10x my income. At 9% growth, I've 100 times my income. So the extremities and the reward you get for making it to that final echelon, like that is the Bonnie Blue. The majority of OnlyFans creators, and here's one to think about, not to get too heavily into the debate, well, again, if you want, we have so many people championing online for equal pay and the gender pay gap and the men get paid more than women. What about OnlyFans? Hold on a sec. The amount of women versus men that use OnlyFans, there's a bit of a discrepancy and no one's doing a parade down the street to go, pay men more, pay men more. No one's saying, let's get the top 2% of earners from OnlyFans. Like, where's Gary Economics where we need him? You know, tax the rich. Yeah, Bonnie, Lily, we're going to take 30% of yours and we're going to give it to Bieber.
Yeah.
Why? Because of gender equality, right?
We need to pay Bevo's cock double.
We need to pay Bevo the amount he deserves because this is unfair. This is, a very sexist environment, I must say myself, for all the women to accrue the wealth. The matriarchy, I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Let's bring that back down. But we don't see any of that. But yeah, so like, again, for the women out there, they're the same thing. It's not the bell curve. It's the top 1, 2, 3%. If you're not smashing a windscreen on a GT3 RS, you're done.
Yeah, right.
And unfortunately, the tough thing is people now, young people online, will look at that top 3%. They'll see all the money. They'll see TikTok in first class or whatever with his watches. They won't see the 92% of people that get nothing.
Yeah, for sure. And like, again, so it encourages the extreme behavior and it encourages it at an age where you are more impulsive and less liable to be like, do I want to have done that 15 years from now? Like, I'm going to be a creative forever. Maybe I'm not. Maybe you're going to be going into an interview to become a HR director 15 years from now. And do you want to have done that thing? Like, so that's the other like shit bit about the internet for me is like incentivizes that more and more extreme behavior to get into that top 10% to people that are often more like kind of inclined to do it at a slightly developmental stage of their life.
But like if you, I've read this in the past, like teenagers now don't want to be pop stars or footballers. They want to be YouTubers, but they want to do this. Do you know what I mean? They want to sit and chat shit. Like this is.
Yeah. Come on.
This is the end goal for like kids. Yeah. No one's trying to be a squeaky clean pop star anymore. No one's trying to be a footballer who can't have done gear because that's not the lifestyle you have to live. It's this. And the more they see this life being a mad life where you do this, you do that, you take this, you take that, you go out all night, whatever, they're like, well, fuck it, that's part of the journey.
But it's not like risk-free, but like your kind of thing of like, you were saying oftentimes unexpected things about the menopause, right? Or like you say, really informed things with this humor twist on it. We say slightly extreme things without a huge cost. Like if the extreme thing you're doing is fucking 100 men in a day or 1,000 men in a day, or I don't know, like taking cocaine live on a stream, like that's like there's a different cost to that than this.
See, I mean, because the thing is, like the irony with us is as much as we talk about people who put shit out, we are also people who put shit out, right? And people often say of us, it's like, they've done screen rot so long they've become the rot. When I went and got a hair transplant I didn't need just for content, they were like, you've become worse than the people you talk about, right? And I never think to myself,
they're right.
No, yeah, they are, of course they are, but I never think to myself, 15 years time I might be in HR. I never think the only thing the only thing I ever think about, and I'm like my fucking Instagram, the stuff I say, the jokes we make, the filth that we talk, right? The only thing that ever gets me is having to look the other parents in the eye at my kid's school. That's what gets me. That is the only judgment I ever fear. I never think I'm going to have another job. I never think I'm going to have to explain this. I don't give a fuck about being cancelled, but fucking pile on. It's more numbers. I don't give a shit, right?
Don't say that.
No, go for it. I think we said something mad today. No, the worst one was Harvey the other week. Anyway. But it's like, that's the only thing I care about. And I don't know about you got a kid, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I ever care about is humiliating them. And I've heard Elle Brooke. Do you know her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's one of the OnlyFans. Also, is again fighting. She did Piers Morgan, and her thing, like he did his whole like holier than thou. Like, do you ever worry about what your children are gonna think? And then she goes, they can cry in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
One thing I think about as well with like the comedy scene and everything is like we kind of need to stretch the existing place that we're in. Like comedy, banter, all that has been sucked into this tiny little tight hole where you've got to be politically correct. I mean, you need creators like yourself to stretch that boundary a little bit, to push it out, to show people the consequences aren't that bad, because that will promote other people to start doing it, which promote other people to do it. Because the majority of the reason why we're in this situation in the first place is because so many people have stayed silent. Or the worst part is the disconnect between the conversation we would have in a pub over beers and what we would say online. That's what I hate.
Yeah. I mean, that was literally our mission statement when we started the podcast. It was like, let's record ourselves having the conversations we'd either have over a beer or on WhatsApp.
I think that's why we're so politically divided as well, because the opinions of actually the nation, they're petrified to say out loud. You can't even say that you have you want to enforce immigration. You can't say, anything about boats. You can't say,
Yeah.
You're penalized now to have those discussions publicly. And even if, you see this, again, with Constantine going up to people, quite literally protesting, tell me why you're here. They won't even say it because they're petrified of people actually hearing what they want to say and what they're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I get, I don't love the Constantine doorstepping people as well, because oftentimes those, like, he's got very, like, used to talking on camera all the time, used to being really, like, kind of, I don't know, structured in his arguments. He's just got some old lady at a protest or whatever, and then it's like, oh, you're going to get destroyed with facts and logic or whatever. Like, who cares? I don't know. But, like, the only thing I'm a bit worried about in, like you're saying, kind of stretching or pushing the envelope a little bit is, like, we do think really carefully about what we say in some ways. Like, we're not guarded in what we say, but, like, if we say something, we'll think, like, does that cross the line, or is that going to make people feel bad? We don't want to, like, we don't actively go looking for it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and ours is based on 10 years of trust, of knowing each other and knowing, I don't sound like a cunt here because I've said stuff like this to Jake in the past. It's still here. But I do think you're right that there's a massive disconnect between, like, the conversations people are having in pubs throughout the country and, like, a fear of what you can or can't say online.
And if you have that high level conversation online, people are like, this isn't what I want, because those pub conversations are where people can vent, they can listen, they can have a laugh.
But it's also not what I want when I go in pubs sometimes. Like, it works both ways. Like, if I go in a pub and I hear someone use the phrase fighting age men, I'm fucking leaving. Do you know what I mean? I can't be fucked. I've had a long day. I've got my kids with me. I don't want to talk about dinghies. Like, you know, like, it's the same thing.
I want Chris Campo. I don't want to talk about the Great Replacement Theory. Leave me alone.
Simulation theory. Fucking hell.
Exactly. But then I do think people are naive to the fact that, like, that is the conversation people are having throughout the country. We're going to have a reform government in the next 5 years. And it's like, what are you going to do then? Is everyone a cunt? Are the 60% of the country who voted in Ant Middleton and Tom Skinner as our next leaders, are they cunts? When Nigel Farage is kicked out for being too left-wing? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think there's a huge disconnect between, and we've had criticism in the past for being, like, too kind on people who veer to the right. Now, I'm left-wing, right? In most of the things I think. I'm also thick, right? So I don't really get why I don't give a fuck where anyone's from. I think you're sweet if you're cool, right? I also hate paying tax.
Get out of it.
Yeah.
You're sweet if you're cool. Jacob Hawley.
I also hate paying tax. Am I left or right? I don't know. There's loads of things that are right wing that I think. I fucking hate the state of the high street. I wish I could just go to a shop outside my house. I can't. It's fucked. I hate cyclists. But I think there should be a register. I also really love people from other cultures. I love that my daughter goes to a school where people speak multiple languages. They celebrate Diwali and multiple other festivals. I like she's going to have a more informed upbringing than me. And I think people are so attached to these ideas of right and left and right and wrong that, like, we shouldn't all do that. It's not a football team. I don't support Labour. I think they're all fucking mugs, right? It's not like Arsenal, where I'm stuck with it. My dad supported it. I have to go every week. And I think Mikel Marino's shit, but I have to pretend he's all right.
You've only had a couple of rapists in the last couple of years in the team.
I think there is, like, a massive... I forgot about that. It was awful.
Don't like the Labour Party.
It wasn't even good in midfield either. That's what fucked me off with that. But it's not mobile enough. But I think people are so tribalistic with that stuff. And I think maybe we're both from Stevenage, right? And that will be one of the first towns that goes full reform. There is a hotel with migrants in it there, and there's a lot of cameras outside that hotel. There's a lot of unhappy people. Yeah. And maybe, like, when the country does go, you know, Tom Skinner and Ant Middleton are in charge, fucking Nigel Farage is in a gulag because he's too left wing, and we've gone fully that way. I'm not ready to say everyone's a cunt and I'm right because I grew up around these people. Does it mean I want to change their minds? Of course I do. Of course, I want to make sure the people that I'm around, like mates I grew up with, who we've all said mad shit. But if they were ever nasty to someone because they're gay or because they're from somewhere else, we'd all call them out, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, you have to accept the fact we live in a country where loads of people think that stuff, and you can just give up on everyone, say that you're the cleanest, smartest boy in the world and everyone else is wrong. Or you can accept the fact we all have to live in the same place. We all have to get on. And if you want the country to be a nicer place and you think it's going nasty, you have to learn to fucking speak to people.
But then it's hard though, because like I think I am the cleanest and smartest boy in the whole country.
It smells great.
But like and this is the way, like with the trigonometry thing, I don't love their show. And I think that what you can say about them and what you can say about stand-up as well is that people like to hear interesting stuff. And if no one else is having the conversation about it, they will go and find it where it is. And so I think fair play to them on that. They will tackle stuff. I think that they're like, okay, that should be tackled. But it's like, where do you draw the line with that? Because they recently interviewed Tommy Robinson, who I think is like a truly dangerous person, in my opinion. Like, I think that what he said, how he's behaved over many years, there's good evidence that like, to me, I'm not saying for everyone will think that, like, that's beyond the pale. I wouldn't do that. And I don't know that I have a good answer for like who legislates over whether that's too far, right? Like in other people's opinion, he's a hero. I vehemently disagree with those people. And that's, I think, the difficult thing about negotiating that in real time, whether it's on a stage or on a podcast or whatever. Like, it is good to have conversations that no one else is having, but like, where does that go over the line into like, this is just a fucking lunatic cunt and we shouldn't speak to him? Like, I don't know I have a good answer for that, but like, that's
it's almost where The Rock comes full circle to be the saving grace of everything. Yeah. So you've got all of these like politicians, you got people that are like rage baiting, you got immigrants at the hotel, and then you got Bevo. Then you got Lily Phillips. And it also actually kind of brings these creators into a bit of a shrine where they're the perfect distraction.
It's escapism.
Yeah. And maybe that is what we need, because I bet that in your, let's say you've got a crowd at your next live event, you got some people from all kind of ethnicities, all different backgrounds, and they're all there to celebrate the fucking Ross on screen. And they have to degenerate bastards. Like, yes. At the moment, I'm sure this is a wildly moving top 5. But as far as a top rock, scrot rock, scream rock, they don't have to be in potential order. Wow. Are there any in that top 5 we've not mentioned today?
What a question.
Big John, the Bosch guy. Do you know him?
Oh yeah,
Johnny Fisher's dad. Yeah.
And are we putting this into the contrast of like top rock, or are you saying it's a positive?
Yeah.
Sometimes
we like the Rock.
So okay. So
and cool. There's a real mix. At one point,
we're looking at a top 5 as in like champion rock, and then or it's a nuanced thing because I've spoken to him briefly. I've heard he's the nicest guy. Go out his way for you.
He is.
I would love to see him maybe get on the fat jabs.
So I think that's the final step in the arc, right? Because no one's asking a skinny guy to throw prawn crackers at them at a student event. Do you know what I mean? whilst that gravy train is still rolling, no.
The Bosch has got to
be
put aside.
That's got to be a ham fist doing the Bosch. That cannot be like.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone viral doing Bosching.
Yeah. It's got to be a big guy.
And then fall over.
Johnny Fisher, absolute fucking weapon as well.
Oh my god,
seeing him bang out people.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, that would be my greatest ambition is to one day have a huge son, like one of the largest boys in all of London.
So someone leaves like a neggy comment, you're like, send my boy.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a heavyweight boxer son. Yeah. I mean, he's got 3 Rottweilers
and a heavyweight boxer son. That guy is bulletproof.
And we did a live show with him. He came on our live show, and we, as I say, we fuck around a lot. We'd made an AI video of his wife sleeping with one of his dogs. You best believe we checked that with his son before we put that. You best believe. Well, we called Henry, the middle son. We were like, you guys will be sweet with this. Like, yeah, that'll be funny. Don't worry. We're like, just check with the boxer if you don't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And this is the thing. Like, he is a truly lovely person, and I think a good example of the good side of the internet. Of like, he would have just been like I think he lives in like Gideon Park in Essex, something there. He would have just been like a local area hero before. Now the whole world gets to love Big John.
But he's also, and I say this with love, and like I chat with him a lot. Like, he's the nutter on the X Factor. Do you know what I mean? That is, to come back full circle, that's what the internet is for.
Yeah.
That is water cooler TV on a Monday. You see that fucking lunatic on the X Factor who just kept saying Bosch. Perfect. That's top.
Was it one of you two that was saying that no longer can a sentence be finished
without saying
Bosch?
Yeah.
And I've even signed off LinkedIn posts with it. I'll run out of steam on a LinkedIn post. But
Yeah.
If you've been on a stag do with a guy you don't know that well and you just say, I'm going to go for breakfast, they're all sweet. Bosch. It gets you out.
Just a little, yeah.
he's changed the world.
Yeah,
we like to admit it or not.
He saved male conversation.
No, he's definitely in there for. And this is the thing. So we used to have a group of lads that listened to our podcast called the Spreadsheet Boys.
Yeah.
And you can think about their neurodivergent history however you want. They ranked everyone that we ever did as a subject from like most despised to most loved. And so, to be fair, there's more on the despised end of the spectrum than there is on the
Cycling Mikey down the bottom.
Cycling Mikey down the bottom.
Villain.
But like, that's the thing about the rot is that sometimes the rots, it can be empowering, good rot. Sometimes it is, I want an asteroid.
Let's polarize them. So we've got Bosch top rot.
Yes.
We've got Cycling Mikey bottom rot.
Bottom
so
rot.
let's go back up to the top.
Mikey Menace. Do you remember Mikey Menace? Who passed away recently. Do you know that guy? Oh, mate.
Yeah, amazing guy.
Again, a lot of them are around that area of like East London, Essex.
I feel like we're drug dealers like pushing a really addictive substance.
Oh, heroin's old school, get fentanyl. Yeah.
This guy's going to be a bit...
Mikey Menace, he literally died 2 weeks ago, but he was this guy, he would go around in a car, his most viral video was him coming out of a toilet in a hotel going, I've just done the biggest line of Dicky and I have got a tear ass and I'm the marry it. Yeah, he died 2 weeks ago.
Do you know another one died, the Ali Kingston Uni?
Yeah. I know.
Oh, really?
Do you know?
No.
Yeah, that was recent.
I thought that was someone just ripping off someone's videos and saying it's from Kingston University. I didn't realise. But there is one guy who's on the way up, rate my beer.
I've not seen
this guy.
So I've been following him. I've been messaging him for a while. He had like 3,000 TikTok subscribers, and he goes to pubs and he just shouts, "Sammy, the King's Crown," right? Like, and just in pubs, goes in, just orders a pint, and he pulls a face crown just before he does a pint. But then he'll neck like half the pint or the whole pint and talk about the fizzage. He's like, I'll have a pint, Stella Artois, great fizzage, and then he'll be like £6.20. No, we are in Tunbridge Wells. And he'll just neck a pint on his own. But some videos, he's already blasted. Middle of the afternoon, just going to a pub on his own, rating beers. And I got so much love for it.
He's like the working class schooner scorer.
Yeah, do you know what? I think I'm going to show you.
Yeah, go on.
I'm not even sure you're supposed to do this on part. Do you know what? Demonetize us. It's worth it. I want the world to know.
We're not going to get copyright struck by the rate my beer, are
He's getting big. He's getting big. And I can tell he's getting big by how his "So I'm Here" are getting...
Oh, that's his catchphrase.
Yeah.
I like the look of this guy.
Yeah, this guy's up our street. Yeah, this is class.
He just goes in. He looks like a working class man. Goes in there, gets the pint, and sometimes he's half cut. Kind of a style.
This is quality. I love this guy already. So he wants fizzage, does he?
Yeah, and he'll just talk about...
I can't say if he's packing it up.
That's class.
So like, I've been following this guy, and what's he at now? I think he was at like 18K last time, 19.8. He's on the rise.
Right.
This guy is on the every single one. He's wearing a shirt. It looks like he's just come from the office.
Lunch break, yeah. Well, this is the thing. We get a lot of like talent scouting now of like people are like, you've got to get in on this guy early or this woman early.
Yeah.
Like they're on 10.
I reckon he live show. I reckon you blindfold him. Asahi. He likes a Stella Artois. He sometimes does go for an IPA. I can tell you about it. You should blindfold him. Get him to do it.
Test it.
Fizzage.
What's the fizzage? What's the beer? What borough of London did this fizz come from?
Get it cabbed over.
This is a kinky live show. He's blindfolded. We've got Memulus with something over his face.
Yeah.
This is a fucking BDSM show.
But I just love the fact that, like, as far as that rot side, some guy on the way home was like, do you know what? And he's probably inspired from Rate My Poo.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Oh yeah, what was that? That's like a blog or something. No,
Did you ever go and rate my poo? And then it was a poo. You rate out of 10 and it shows you another one.
Yeah. Wow.
But you can upload your poo, allegedly, to the internet. So there was rate my poo, and then sometimes you'd be in awe at the swirls, the length.
Yeah. You think people would trying to do poos in artistic ways?
Yeah, so what you would do, allegedly,
Oh my
Move your
God.
ass.
You would put tissue down in the toilet beforehand,
Wow.
so the log didn't disappear from you around the bowl.
No, you don't.
And then you would have to strategically get up and take a picture before you wiped, because otherwise you're in a logistical nightmare.
You don't know what that.
So I've heard. And but you know when it's coming. You know when there's a ghost wipe
Have
coming.
you got so much time to go to the gym when you're doing all that?
Well, being a gym bro, we like sometimes try and get fiber up in our diet. Sometimes, you know,
Okay, right.
all of those. Obviously, I don't think Rate My Poo's still going. It could be.
Let's bring it back.
But yeah, we should bring it back. But sometimes you just be in awe looking at another man's poo, so I've heard. But then there was ratemyboobs.com.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me than the poo one, to be fair.
I would argue you can be more entertained from a good poo.
Rate My Poo.
Yeah, than it could be from a good.
But this is the thing I've been saying that our catchphrase of our podcast is sometimes the internet's so bad, I want an asteroid to hit the earth. And that's a more recent phenomenon.
Do you ever remember like steakandcheese.com?
No, I don't know.
I think I might
It
be
feels
a
like
few years
dim
older than
stuff. Yeah.
This was when the internet just started coming around and you could just put something in and be mortified. Meatspin.com.
I remember meatspin.com.
What was that?
Yeah,
It's a cockswing.
It's a
but
cockswing.
there's something else happening, isn't there?
What, in the meatspin one?
Yeah. What's happening to the guy whose cock is spinning around?
Oh, fuck.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
might have erased this.
I'm
from my
pretty
brain.
sure.
This is in the days of like rotten.com, efucks.com.
These-
You remember all this stuff?
I'm
This
pretty
is-
sure he's
the
getting
good old
bummed
days.
whilst it's happening.
Is it-
It's mad how your memory changes things over time, isn't it? So I've heard.
I'd love to know which one
What a
these were.
podcast. What a podcast.
But this is almost not scream rot. This is web rot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
this
early
one's got
days,
that.
right?
This
Yeah.
is long form stuff. This is URLs. We don't do this
And I
shit
guess
anymore.
with all of that stuff, like there's so little anonymity now. That's the other thing is like, because of like Rate My Beer or the Schooner Scorer, like it's all about like getting your face out there. It's not
Yeah.
about doing something mad unless you're
But
meaningless.
the crazy thing here is this guy is just drinking pints
Hmm.
at pubs and rating them. And there's something beautiful about it. And I don't know why I'm drawn to it and I want to support him.
Yeah.
And again, I'm so buzzing that I mentioned him on this pod. I'm going to make sure we clip it and tag him in it.
Tag him in the
And do you know
episode.
what I think it is? It's that there's someone there a little bit older than me just enjoying his afternoon.
Mate.
And maybe he doesn't tell his wife.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
he's
yeah.
just on the way home. And there's something beautiful about a man going to a pub on his own and necking a pint for the boys.
We're in a group called 1 Million Beers. And it's 1,000 people. I've never met any of them before. I don't know how we got into it. So someone messaged me and said, it's literally, it's strict rules. All you're allowed to do, if you're drinking a beer, you take a picture of it and you count the number. And if we keep all doing it, we will hit 1 million beers. We will have counted 1 million beers all drunk together. It is the most boring thing in the world. I should want no part of it. I cannot buy a beer anymore without wanting to go on 1 million beers. Someone did the stats the other day. It's going to take us 4.5 years to get to the 1 millionth beer. I care more about
spreadsheet boys.
that. More autism.
There's spreadsheet boys everywhere. Yeah.
I care more about 1 million beers than I care about my kids. And there's something about like the male mentality of like, you just want to fucking talk about drinking a beer. You just want to watch some fucking.
It's the same
dude run
mentality
around.
that built Rome.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and the pyramids.
You just want to drink some mead with your
And
boys.
Newtonic.
You know, there's something here where I foresee a movement coming, and hopefully I'm right about it. It's like the anti-productivity movement. Obviously, we've got a business where we sell an energy drink plus whatever. But I think these morning routines and everything have actually caused more distress and harm than anything. Like, we all have developed some form of sleep stress over the last 10 years, but I'm not going to get 8 hours, or I didn't get 8 hours, or my fucking whoop said I had a shit.
Chris has got that ring thing, hasn't he? That he's always working.
He's got everything, mate. Like, some of the stuff.
He's getting his blood taken all the time. You're not doing that, are you? That's just him.
I said to him, mate, you just need a girlfriend to watch TV with in the evenings, if I'm completely honest. And do you know what? Sometimes I say to him, you just need a bender.
Yeah.
You just need 3 nights out, no sleep,
Right.
to do your own ketamine infusion
Yeah.
and just go enjoy
Sort
yourself.
your life out.
Just go incognito for a while.
Right.
Maybe in a foreign country where no one knows who you
Take
are.
the ring off. Just
Yeah.
take the fucking Garmin off.
I feel like-
just let your heart have a fucking.
The sleep stress is good for a lot of people because they might go to bed a little bit earlier. But everything else, I wore a Whoop for a bit. Then I was like, what am I doing? I'm making my life worse.
Right.
Smash the Whoop. Life's better. If I didn't get a good night's sleep, so what? And actually, who are we to think we're going to have a good night's sleep all the time? But the one place that I hate myself at the moment is I'm no longer having a beer just for having a beer. And this is where I think I've become too caught up, like fitness and being in shape as a dad and all of this. And sometimes I think to myself, I would maybe be happier if I would just have more beers. And I'm now in a weird place where I would admit that I've become so boring trying to optimize health that I'm less sociable.
Right,
and,
right.
And my mate who's having a tough time with his missus or whatever, how the fuck am I going to find out about that over WhatsApp? And I feel like we actually need a movement of more beers.
Yeah.
We need a movement where you go for dinner with your mate and no one's leaving until you've done 3 bottles of wine. We need a movement where you're allowed into work an hour late as long as you're hungover. We need to have like those kind of incentives.
It's like that. Because that's a fascinating one, because it's like the well-being aspect of like, if I do all of those things, I'll be healthier, but will I be kind of happier or whatever?
And all the people around you as well, through me trying to be a selfish, healthy twat, my mates that might be silently saying like, hey mate, do you want to get a beer? They're not saying, do you want to get a beer? They're saying, can I have 2 hours of time on airplane mode without my missus listening?
Yeah,
and
right.
It's those kind of parts of my life where I'm thinking, fuck, like, are we getting too healthy? Are we getting to know too much about stuff? Like, are we getting too much information from?
Are we having our blood work done too often?
Yeah, or having our blood filtered in Vienna. Some of those things. Like, I'll give it to Chris. Right, anything he does, I will rip into him. But he's been right on a couple of things. Eye masks, great. There's a company called Manta. They do these eye masks for like pads. He looked like a twat on a plane. I was like, I'm buying one of these. I put it on. I was like, he's right. Yeah, fair enough. Then there's the 8 sleep mattress.
Right.
Okay. Oh, is this the one that like cools you down and stuff?
It's life changing.
Is it?
It's if you had to say, I had a midlife crisis last year. I bought a 911. If you said 911 on the mattress, I'd keep the mattress. It's like, it's wild.
You said 911 there. I was thinking about something else, but go on.
Sick bastard. But then there's the other things with the optimization, like the electrolytes when you wake up. I'm like, how much did you sleep? How much did you sweat last night, bro? You got a temperature controlled mattress, right?
Yeah,
you don't need the electrolytes.
Don't worry about it.
There are some of that optimization stuff. The hydrogen water, not sold on it. It's H2O. It's already got 2 hydrogens to 1 oxygen. Like, why are you trying to put more hydrogen?
Yeah.
The rest, I'm like, relax, boys.
Yeah, because this is the oldest trick in the book with the internet as well. Of like, we talked about it when we were on like MySpace in school, where it's like not everyone's having as good or as healthy a time as they look on that thing. And like that kind of like, I've got to do all of that stuff fear. That's pretty hard.
I know fitness influencers who will put up the videos going, yeah, I've done this week. I've done that this week. I've hit my 10,000 steps every day and I've only had like 3 pieces of salmon and a sweet potato. I know they're eating Dominoes when the camera's off. Do you know what I mean? I talk to them. I fucking talk to them about it. And it's genetics. Or as you say, they're pretending to be natty when they're not. Like, and also the happiness thing. I had this mate at uni who, like, visually similar, like big guy like you, TRT, rugby, fucking. But this guy was just so anxious, right? Every meal he was fucking MyFitnessPal on the macros. Like we'd go out and be like, are you having a beer? Oh no, have they got vodka tonic? Actually, I probably shouldn't because I've got to get up.
It's an eating disorder.
It's an eating disorder. Mate, it's glorified eating disorder. And that, I tell you what, that is a fucking gender thing there, where I think girls have been trained to spot when they're going too far into eating disorders. There are so many men who are on this fucking fitness thing, and it's an eating disorder. It's a complete eating disorder.
The fitness industry is an eating disorder with steroids and fake tits. That's it. Pick a side. And mate, like you say, it's actually one of the biggest cons in the world, because everyone in the fitness industry, the 90% of them only do it because of the way they look. It's a genetic lottery. Like you're more likely to be a CEO of a business if you're over 6 foot. And without that, you're at such a disadvantage. And so many people, one of my videos on TikTok got 1 million new followers because I pointed out the fact that it's called the swimmer's body illusion. Long short of it, if you swim, you're not going to look like a swimmer. If you play rugby, you're not going to look like a rugby player. People aren't big and broad because they play rugby. They play rugby because they're big and broad. People aren't swimmers because they swim a lot. You put 100 kids in the pool, some of them are good, some of them aren't. The ones that are good will end up being it. And the same in fitness. You give people a wide spread of genetics. Even if there was 0.0001% of people with just godlike Thor genetics, you got 6,000 people to follow on Insta. You can't even follow that many people. So already you're kind of fucked with it. But yeah, so
but I do worry that I do that with fitness. I'll see people, like fitness people on the internet who are tracking their blood, who are fucking 10,000 steps, who are 9 hours sleep a night, who are macros tracking. And I'll go, yeah, I'm definitely happier than you. I'm definitely having a better time than you. I'm going for beers with my mates. And then I'm like, I am fat. like I'm not winning. Do you know what I mean? Like I have got fucking tits.
The tough thing here is, again, what you say back to like Cycling Mikey being incentivized by money. Some people go, is that person natural? I'd go, well, he's a fucking idiot if he is. Because he's got that many YouTube subs. He sells workouts. If he's not taking steroids and lying to his audience, he's leaving money on the table.
Right.
And the same with the women with the eating disorders. People go, is she on Ozempic or on Manjaro or whatever? I'm like, well, in some cases, considering that she trains, I'm not advocating it. Again, you can agree with something.
But it's what you want. What do you want? Do you want money? Do you want to, yeah.
And they're incentivized. And again, you look to that top 10%. Do you want to be in that or do you want to be broke? And it's just such a shitty way to deceive people. And again, when I came out on TRT, got loads of hatred. And I was like, well, the worst thing I could have done was just sold fitness plans and been like, oh guys, I actually changed my reps and sets.
Yeah.
But the optimization, I think we're going to come into a phase where people are just going to be a bit more nuanced, where they go, do you know what? If you get a bit fat, a few less beers. If you start getting too fitness, we should also shame you as well. Like, hey bro, actually, I do this with my friends. I'm like, you're looking too good. You're pissing me off. Like, you come on holiday leaning like this. We call it secret dieting. We catch someone like, oh, you left chips on your Nando's. So you secret dieting.
Yeah.
Do people do that? They're like, oh, I'm just eating normally, but actually they're...
Yeah, my friends, I catch them out. I'm like, oh, we ordered olives. You didn't have any. Was there something you want to tell me about? This while we're moving in, I do hope we have like a bounce back. The way that we probably went too much PG, too much like, oh, you can't say that. We've come into a place where we're a bit more liberal, what we can say. With fitness, I hope we have a bounce back where you mandatory have to have beers once a week with the boys.
Chips.
Yeah, chip. If you don't have chips,
you can't find a way of balancing that with your life, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
And like, I think that balance kind of across the board is, so integral. Where can people find you? You got more live shows coming up?
Yeah, man. We've got a tour. It's nearly sold out, but we've got a few. I think Liverpool, Edinburgh, and then
scarcity marketing. I like it.
Yeah. And then we Shepherd's Bush Empire. Depends on when this comes out. Might have a few left.
Yeah, it's very scarce.
Screen Rock Podcast. Everywhere you get podcasts, YouTube, la-di-da, you'll find us. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. And thanks for the Need Sonics. Delicious drink.
We're going
me
to keep
awake.
sending it to you to keep you on side.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.